I-30. All right. Today we are going to be looking at Interstate 30 to celebrate the eclipse last week since the entire interstate was in the path of totality. Interstate 30 goes from Aledo, Texas, or just outside of Aledo, to North Little Rock, Arkansas. It is by far the shortest of any interstate that is divisible by 10, since most of them are coast to coast, or in 20's case, it's partially coast to coast, goes to one coast. Before I continue, I would please ask you to leave a like, leave a subscribe, and leave a comment. And without further ado, let's take a look at I-30 eastbound. So here we are on I-20, meeting Interstate 30. 30 is signed for downtown Fort Worth, 20 is signed east for Dallas and Shreveport, 20 forms partial southern loops around both Fort Worth and Dallas. So that's why Shreveport's signed to have a control city beyond it. 30 is actually faster to get to downtown Dallas from here, so 20 East Dallas is maybe a little misleading, but maybe that's the way Texas wants people to take, so 30 is not as crowded. So not too far after that junction, we are meeting A20. A20 has no control cities, and 30 East is now signed for downtown. Couldn't find a reassurance shield, so I just skipped ahead to the A20 junction. And here's our best look at Fort Worth downtown going on eastbound. We'll see a better view of it going westbound. And then not far after meeting downtown Fort Worth, we are signed for 30 East Dallas and 35W for Denton and Waco. Not in love with those choices. And then also 287 South for East Lancaster Avenue, 1/2 mile. And then here's the eastern side of the loop for 820, still no control cities. And here we are in Arlington. We're meeting a few highways here, a few roads rather. We have Texas 360 for Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, and South 360 is not signed for anything. Could sign Arlington, but we're already in Arlington, so could be a little misleading if so. Also, meeting Six Flags Drive, we can see Six Flags up here. I like that this sign is hiding this on the border sign over here. And here's our best look at Six Flags. We see a few of the rides here. Superman Power Tower, probably see Texas Giant around here too. Been to Six Flags a couple times, pretty cool park. And here we are meeting the President George Bush Turnpike, as well as State Highway 161, which I think is also the Turnpike, but maybe this is just an untold section of it. And here we are meeting Loop 12, one of the loops around Dallas. And here we are looking at downtown Dallas. We're now assigned 30 East for Texarkana, 35E south and north for Waco and Denton, like 35W. And here we are looking at downtown Dallas. This is probably our best view, and it's a much better view than going westbound, I'll definitely say that. And shortly after passing downtown Dallas, we have 30 East Texarkana, meeting with I-45 and US 75 for Houston and McKinney. I think they should replace McKinney with Plano there, as stated in my 635 video. And then not far after, we have 30 East Texarkana and 80 East Terrell. And this is actually where I-30 used to start. 80 East here used to be I-20. So that's a fun fact. Then here we are meeting 635. 635 isn't signed for anything. I enjoyed making 635 last week, so if you haven't seen it yet, I would advise to check it out. And here we are meeting the Buc-ee's in Royce City. Good place to get gas, good place to use the restroom. I think it's a little overhyped, but you know, it's a vibe, so got no problem with it. Then here's the first mileage sign I could find coming out of the Dallas area. We have Greenville 8, Texarkana 140. Texarkana, definitely struggled with that as a control city for a while, but I think I made my peace with it. Texarkana is kind of famous. I mean, the name itself, Texarkana, I mean, kind of says a lot. And you also meet I-49 and 369 there, and it's got like 150,000 metros, so I guess I'm okay with it. And here we are meeting Tamales of Greenville. Like I said in the 271 video, definitely a great place to eat some Tex-Mex. There's not that many of them left, so if you're in like the Arklatex area, that's usually where they're at. And here we are in Greenville, meeting US 69 and US 380 and Business 69, signed for Joe Ramsey Boulevard and Moulton Street. And then here at this interchange is signed for Texarkana. Texarkana is maintained through most of the major interchanges. There are a few that say Mount Vernon and Sulphur Springs, but those are very minor interchanges, so I didn't really bother complaining about those that much. And here we are meeting US 271 for Paris and Mount Pleasant. I definitely enjoyed making that too, and please check it out if you haven't already. And US 259 is up here and signed for DeKalb and Dangerfield. Exit 199 for US 82. US 82 is unsigned here. Then here's another mileage sign as we're getting close to Texarkana. We have Texarkana 14 and Little Rock 154. So our Texas does recognize that the next control city is Little Rock, as well as should be. They're not signing a smaller out-of-state place. And then here we are in Texarkana. We're about to meet I-369, and we have this Atlanta next right. They're talking about Atlanta, Texas, but this is actually the fastest way to get to Atlanta, Georgia as well. So that's pretty cool. And right here, we have I-369, US 59, 271 Shreveport. So a pretty good sign right here. Good control cities all around. Then 7159 north for State Line Avenue and Ashdown. So this is the exit to get to the state line. In fact, right here is State Line Avenue, and it is dividing the Arkansas and Texas state lines here. We have 30 East Little Rock again, so at least we got an overhead sign for it. Jefferson Avenue, first exit in Arkansas coming up. And then here we are, we have a Welcome to Arkansas sign. Arkansas Natural State, buckle up for safety. And right here we can see an El Chico. Definitely a good alternative to Tamales if maybe Tamales is closed, or maybe they go before the El Chicos manage to go. But that's a good backup, just in case. Then not too far after we meet I-49. 49 is signed for Houston, Shreveport, and Fort Smith. 30 East is signed for Hope and Little Rock. Hope definitely works as a secondary, birthplace of Bill Clinton's, famous enough for that, and it definitely works as a secondary. 49 Houston, I don't think Houston should be on the side because, again, any Houston traffic would have taken 369. Shreveport, Fort Smith, I think those are fine. Fort Smith, I like them signing because even though 49 doesn't actually get there yet, it will, so I like that. Even though it will bypass the city, it is the correct way to there, so definitely like that. Here we are around the Welcome Center area. We see a mileage sign for Hope and Little Rock, and Little Rock is maintained on basically every mileage sign, so didn't really mess around with that too much. We are meeting US 278 for Hope and Nashville. Definitely taking this exit a lot. We're meeting US 371 for Prescott here at exit 484. And went ahead to Malvern. We have US 270 west for Hot Springs. And then the next exit is for 270 east for Malvern and Sheridan. And here we are around Haskell. This is the Haskell exit. We see a Circle K and McDonald's here. I bring this up because they are going to build a Buc-ee's around this exit. I'm not sure if this is the direction it's going to be built in, but it will be at exit 114. And here you go. This is right on the edge of Little Rock. We see Bass Pro Shop over here is fairly new. We have an intersection for 430 North for Fort Smith, 30 East, and 67 North is signed for Little Rock. 67, we've been signed pretty much since Dallas. It's been kind of off and on here and there, but roughly follows 30. And here we are meeting exit 132 for University Avenue. This is the exit to get to the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. And then here we're meeting Interstate 530 and 440 for Pine Bluff, Memphis, St. Louis, and the airport. So great control cities here. 440 used to be signed for just the airport and I believe the Riverport. So I'm glad they put some actual cities on here. Memphis, St. Louis, both pretty big cities, and this is a good route to take to get to those. And here we're approaching downtown Little Rock. We have 30 East to I-40 and then 630 West with no control cities because exit 140 right here is signed for downtown Little Rock. So Arkansas encourages people to take 140 instead of 139B to get to downtown. However, here at the 630 interchange, 30 East is signed for North Little Rock. I mean, not the greatest choice, but I mean, I suppose it makes sense. I mean, the other options aren't that logical because Memphis traffic would have taken 440. St. Louis traffic probably would have taken 440. Although I do think it might be a little faster to take 30 to 40 to 67. So they could replace this with St. Louis once 57 comes to Little Rock, but as of right now, I mean, I'm not going to complain too much about it. So here we are meeting I-40. We also have 65, 67, 167. We're going to be meeting and or co-signed with. And then, we're going to be signed for Conway, Fort Smith for 40, and then Jacksonville and Memphis for East 40. Conway signed because that is the place where US 65 splits off of 40, and then Jacksonville signed because that is where the Air Force Base is. Then here is the very end of 30. We have 40 West, 40 East. They did change this sign for 40 East. If you've seen Control City Freaks 30 video, this sign was a lot different. It was a little distracting how different this sign was compared to the West sign. So I'm glad it at least looks a little alike the West sign now. Anyway, here we are going to be talking about Interstate 30 westbound. So we're on I-40, 40 West Fort Smith, 30 West is signed for Little Rock. Other ways the same, 40 will be signed for Memphis instead of Fort Smith. But 30 maintains Little Rock here, which is a good choice since we're not really near downtown yet. We're in North Little Rock, so Little Rock definitely works here. So we're still in North Little Rock here. We're meeting US 70 East Broadway right here. You can see the Verizon Arena just around here. And then here is the Arkansas River, and we also have a great view of downtown Little Rock right here, so 2 in 1. And here's the exit for 630. It's currently under construction. You do have to exit a little prematurely right here. And here we are. It's first overhead sign you can see for 30, and is meeting I-440 and I-530, Memphis, St. Louis Airport, Pine Bluff, Texarkana. I'm glad that they don't have El Dorado on the 530 sign anymore, because it felt a little useless. I mean, I know that's where 167 goes, but El Dorado is not as big as Pine Bluff, and Pine Bluff, 530 and 65 go there, so I think that's okay. And we have the intersection for 430 again, 430 North Fort Smith, 30 West signed for Texarkana still. And here we are with the Tamales in Bryant. This isn't actually on 30. I did have to get off to find this one. But here's the second Tamales on our route. 30 West is signed for Malvern and Texarkana now, as we're meeting US 70 West for Hot Springs. Malvern is kind of a pointless control city, at least for a secondary, but at least we have Texarkana on there too. I wouldn't mind Texarkana Dallas being here, since Arkansas does like to sign Oklahoma City in Little Rock on its overhead, so wouldn't mind seeing that, but I mean, Texarkana, I guess, works, so I don't have a problem with it. Here we are meeting US 270 again. Here in Malvern, we see 270 Business is also signed for Malvern. So here is Southern Arkansas University Magnolia, exit 46. This is around Prescott. And I've definitely taken this exit a lot since this is where I went to school. And then here we are, meeting 371 Prescott. 46 is actually a faster way to get to 371 South than here. This is probably a better exit if you wanted to go north. 278, here we are again. Hope and Nashville, definitely taking this exit a lot too. Then I meant to show this sign before, but I think my pictures got out of order. But Texarkana is on the bottom line for basically like the whole time until we get to Texarkana. And then around here is the Red River. We can see a pretty good view of it, probably the best view of the Red River going westbound. Here we are approaching Texarkana. We've got Texarkana 11 and Dallas 194. So Arkansas does recognize that Dallas is the next control city and isn't bothering to sign a small Texas town. And then here we are approaching Texarkana again. We've got 30 West Dallas now. And then 49 for Houston, Shreveport, and Fort Smith. If they're going to have Houston on the side, should really put 2 I-59 or US 59 rather. Put US 59 on the sign too. If you're going to mention Houston. And then here we are meeting State Line Avenue again. And also there's a rest area for the Texas Travel Information Center in 1 mile. Then after we pass State Line, we are signed for, well, we have a Welcome to Texas sign. We're not really signed for anything. So we got Welcome to Texas, drive friendly the Texas way. Then here we are. We have Crisis St. Michael. I bring this up because I was born in this hospital. So that's pretty cool that we get to see it from I-30. And here we are, seeing our last tamales that we'll see. I'm not going to show the green one, the Greenville one again, just because we saw it in eastbound. But yeah, this is the last tamales we're going to see, I guess, until we get to 220 maybe in the Shreveport, Bossier area. And here we are, meeting 369 again. 369 signed for Houston, 30 West is signed for Dallas. So Texas does sign Dallas on its overheads, so I like that. And also, like, I don't really know why I-49 was signed for Houston, because it's actually faster to go through Texarkana to 369 to get to Houston. So a little weird, but maybe they'll make a faster route. Right here we have a mileage sign. We got Hooks 4, Dallas 167. So Dallas is on the bottom line, and it's on the bottom line for the whole way from what I remember, so I didn't bother to look at too many mileage signs. Being US 82, and unlike on eastbound, it actually has control cities, so we have DeKalb and Clarksville. And 259 we're going to meet, and is also signed for DeKalb, and is also signed for Dangerfield. 271 we're meeting again, going westbound, signed for Mount Pleasant and Parrish, just like before. Here we are in Sulphur Springs, is signed for Dallas and Greenville. I'm okay with it as long as Dallas is on there. Here we are in Greenville, meeting Business 69, US 380 and US 69 for Moulton Street and Joe Ramsey Boulevard again. Would like to see a control city or two on here, maybe McKinney or something. It'd be nicer than the street names. And here we are passing over Lake Ray Hubbard, going into the Dallas area. We're meeting I-635 not long after, around Garland. 635 is not signed for anything. And here we are looking at downtown Dallas. This is probably our best view going westbound. And up ahead, we are meeting I-45 and US 75 for Houston and McKinney. Same control cities as before. 30 West just gets a pull-through sign. And not long after we meet downtown Dallas, we have an exit for 30 West Fort Worth. And we're also going to be meeting I-35E, but the exit isn't actually on 30 itself. It's just on like a little ramp or whatever past the exit. So we got 35 East South for Waco and 35 E North Denton. Same control cities as before. Same mid control cities. So here we are in just past Arlington. I didn't really look for much in Arlington because I imagine there's probably no mileage signs or overhead signs. So I went straight to 820 here. So we got 30 West for Fort Worth. 820 isn't signed for anything. We are approaching downtown Fort Worth, as we can see in the distance. 35W is still signed for Waco and Denton, just like before. And also we have North 287 at this 35W North exit. And here's our best look at downtown Fort Worth. A lot better view going westbound than eastbound. And here we are on the western edge of 820 with I-30, and 30 is now signed for Weatherford and Abilene. Those are both cities on Interstate 20, since 30 only has about 5 more miles left. Weatherford, not really a huge fan of that being on there, but as long as Abilene's on there, I guess it's okay. Unlike on the 820 interchange, on 820 itself, we just have 30 West Weatherford. I have no idea why it's not Abilene. Abilene has fewer letters. Somebody wasted their time to add more letters to a control city that shouldn't be here. And also 30 West Weatherford, like it would make more sense for 20 to be signed for Weatherford, because this is the exit where Abilene traffic would get off. So it's like if you were to sign 20 for Weatherford, I probably wouldn't be that mad, but it's like here, this makes no sense. I mean, at least this isn't on the main line, but still, like 820, like what are they doing here? Anyway, after that little rant was over, yeah, we're approaching the end of I-30. We have Interstate 20 up here. It's going to merge together. Up here, we have 20s lanes here and 30s lanes here. Since this part of 30 used to be I-20, it's the reason why it's the main line. This is a new section of 20 that they built back in the 70s. There is no 30 end sign, but we do see up here we have a pull through for 20 West, Weatherford, and Abilene. So just like before in 30, we have the same control cities, and we also have exit 420 signed for Aledo. So yeah, it's just outside of Aledo where it ends, or maybe in the city limits, but I didn't check. But anyway, that's going to be the end of I-30, and my final verdict for I-30's control cities are, for eastbound, Fort Worth, Dallas, Texarkana. Could skip it for Little Rock, but I'm okay that's there. And then I-40. So, and that's pretty much the way it is. So I like how 30 East is signed. Westbound, we have Little Rock, Texarkana. Could skip it for Dallas, but like I said before, I'm okay with it. Then Fort Worth after Dallas, and then Abilene. I'd probably just remove the Weatherford stuff. As a secondary, it's not that useful of a secondary, and I definitely would remove that 820 sign, but since we're just talking about 30, it's pretty much signed that way too. So overall, they do pretty good on 30. Little stuff they could change, but overall, not too bad. Anyway, don't forget to leave a like, leave a subscribe, and leave a comment. My next videos I will cover are Interstate 40 in Arkansas, Interstate 49 in future, Interstate 49 in Arkansas, and then after that, I will be ranking all interstates in Arkansas that are 2 digits based on their signage. I won't do I-55, at least not yet, just because it doesn't go through a lot of Arkansas. So I will discuss it in the ranking video, but that's it. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great